So, someone want to do a brief recap of last week?
Yeah, we went to that planet. We convinced them that we are the good guys. I mean, they're good guys. We basically walked into their base, have a look around, got some stuff, made some explosives, planted explosives, walked into the ship, basically took over the ship, sent a message to uh, Tolands that imminent attack is coming, and we're waiting for a countdown to blow the explosive and get the heck out of here.
Okay.
Any clue where Zhao is?
I'm not sure. We'll what we'll do is we'll do some small bits and pieces for the next 10 minutes or so. If he doesn't show up, then I'll send him a message actually first. Would be a good idea. Let's see.
What about the new guy, Parker?
Well, he's not here. With the way he dropped out last week, I'm not sure if he just sort of quit or if he lost connection or what.
Rage quit?
Possibly. I have no idea.
I mean, there wasn't even anything for him to rage quit at the time.
Yeah.
True, but if he intended to come back, you'd think he would send a message or something.
Yeah, like even after the next day or something saying sorry this happened or whatever, but
Culture, man, culture.
Okay. Yeah, so this ship is on its way to Pelor, the Tolan homeworld. Now I couldn't find my map that I had of the Hatak before at all on my computer, so I found something else to use instead, so I will bring you over to it. I have no idea what I did with it. I went looking online, couldn't find one again, so I mucked that up badly.
Don't worry about it.
Hopefully you should all be able to see.
Nope.
Oh, I didn't put you on the token layer. That would do it. Can you see now?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the map that I found that'll work for it instead. So where you're at is, you're in front of the elevator where you defeated all those guys there at the end of the last session before sabotaging the thing.
Yeah, and I got shot badly.
Yes. So...
Didn't you get patched up, though?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Let's give everyone their GM point, story points back. There you go. We'll do a roll for the session to see the exchange rate. There we go. So it adjusts -1. Haven't had any response from Zal. I'm assuming he's accidentally slept in or something.
Maybe. Time zones are weird.
Yeah, you know there aren't very many people on board the ship at the moment. There's only the ones that were guarding it. So you can go around and explore for a bit. Would probably be the best way to use the time at the moment.
I remember we had, gold technician. I mean, not gold, Jaffa technicians fixing our comms. So there is that. I think Onyx will just go to the bridge.
Okay.
Wherever that is.
So the bridge is not on the current map because I don't have it. So it's off to the left-hand side, basically opposite where your elevator was.
Okay. And he will just rest there. And get his software upgraded, to fly this thing.
Okay. Yeah. If you're wanting to get ready to fly it, then let's have a piloting check. Sorry, not piloting, operating check. It'll be a. We'll start with a hard one. If you pass it, then you've gotten familiar with the controls, and from then on, a Hatak will be an average operating check.
Okay. I'm going to use a story point.
Okay.
Go for it. Can Zhao assist him even though he's not here yet?
Unfortunately, no. We have to go with the thing of he's guarding the elevator or something.
Or cooking. And that gives me a boost or an upgrade. Can't remember. Story point.
The story point will give you an upgrade to the check, so the left-hand upgrade.
Come on. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. You take some strain to do so, but yeah, you know how to fly this thing.
Yeah, it was definitely stressful simulation.
So how do you go about that? What are your plans when it comes to flying this?
I thought we would just go to Tolan's and just first tell them not to shoot us. Second, send the boarding thing to actually help us fly this thing and fight. And prepare them for the attack even more so. Because even if we blow them up and stuff, they will with other lords already on a way, there's no way they're gonna bail.
Okay.
It just too much went into preparation of all of this going on for them to bail.
So the communication system is still
Down.
very overloaded. So when you get there, you're not likely to be able to communicate with them unless you try and repair that en route.
We have technicians, the ones that we left alive, fixing it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. We can give a check and see if they can do it. I'll give it three rolls, and we'll see if they manage it or not. Oh, never mind. They've done it off of the first one. Oh, it helped have difficulty. It's pretty short, so there's the difficulty. Yeah, they've done it off of the first one, apparently. So yeah, one of them comes up and finds you on the bridge. My lords, we've fixed the communicate. Are we in hyperspace?
Yes.
Why are we in hyperspace, my lords?
We received new orders.
There was an attack on the base, so we are heading out early.
You think they might be aware we're coming?
Yes.
Oh.
So we must strike quickly.
Oh, excellent plan. We don't have any forces on board yet, though.
Don't worry about it.
Are we just going to blockade or orbital bombardment or something?
Yes.
Correct.
Very well. One of the other engineers comes in and starts asking very similar questions. The second guy is a bit more skeptical than the first, however, so if you want to try and convince him, it'll require a check of some sort. Probably deception.
Relief, that's on you.
So yeah, this guy's skeptical, so it's an average with 2 setback.
Ooh, 2 setback.
The setback is because he's connected dots that everything's been going weird since you got on board.
Is average 2 or 3?
It's 2.
Okay. Just read up my.
Well, that's completely blank.
Oh, it's just blank. I was like, why is it not giving results?
Because there's nothing to give.
Yeah, you got a perfect 4 and against, so it's cancelled everything out.
Should I use a story point to like make that a success or something? Or is it too late?
It's usually too late to run a story point. I will be nice to you though, and I will let you roll a boost because the other Jafar is trying to explain on your behalf to some degree. So if you want to roll a boost on its own, that will determine whether or not you succeed or fail. I think you didn't click off.
I forgot to click off it. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, you convince this guy. It's very difficult to convince him, and it takes the help of the other Jafar that you've already been talking to convince him. My lord, why? I'm somewhat confused. Should we not have left with the rest of the fleet?
They'll be following us.
We'll follow soon.
Very well.
This is why we need the communications up.
They are not far behind.
Well, the communications are fixed now. We spent all our effort on that.
Excellent.
Did you find the saboteurs?
Yes.
Yes, they're dead in the cargo hold. Or the entryway.
Very good, my lord.
Now, if you excuse us, we must talk with the rest of the fleet.
As you will. They leave the room and head off somewhere.
I don't trust them.
So you're still in hyperspace. It's going to take a little while to get to Pelor.
Okay. With ship in a hyperspace and everything is basically an autopilot, unless we'll just go with auto repairs for this couple of hours.
Okay. So you wanna perform? You wanna rest for the next?
Yes.
So in terms of travel time to Pelor from where you were, you're looking at about an hour and a half.
Okay, that's one hit point.
Uh,
That's...
do you not have a trait that gives you extra?
No.
No.
It lets me do it, but as you know,
Okay.
for resting, but no, it doesn't give me anything extra.
Okay. I mean, the other way you could do it is you could use a second repair patch. The second one, because it's the second one you've used within a before getting a full night's rest or whatever the equivalent would be, I guess like 8 hours. It would only remove 4 wounds, but it would still be 4 more that you'd get back.
Yeah, sure.
You had 3 in total repair patches, I think. So,
Yeah, I'm down to 1.
yeah. Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanted to do while you're on route to Pelor, or are you just waiting till you arrive?
I mean, we could send them a message while on our way there, so they are kind of expecting us.
So as you get really close, you want to send a message when you're in normal communications range?
Yeah, that would be smart. Otherwise, they will just blast us from the sky on, an auto
Okay.
fire.
So
Yeah,
what sort of message are you wanting to send? Like, what are you saying in it?
Truth. First, don't shoot us. Second, others are coming. Third, we're on your side. Fourth, bring a boarding party so we have actually crew to operate the ship.
Okay.
and probably send whatever SGC, authentication code we got, so they know it's us.
Yeah,
Okay.
they will be able to check that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. They send back a coded message. Someone give me a average computers check with a boost.
We need Zao.
I have 0.
I will roll for Zhao in this case.
Yeah, I don't think I have any in computers either. Just the base intelligence.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, he doesn't have any, but he's got the base intelligence of 4, which I think is a bit higher than both of you.
It's probably equals our combined.
Yeah.
I think it's greater if you only have one.
Yeah,
Me too.
Zhao.
Mhm.
Zhao. Yeah, gives a bit of a go at decoding it. He's a little familiar with Tolan transmissions, but not.
Good. If that didn't work, I'd have to bring in one of the crew and then kill them once they translated.
Yeah, so he
Course,
decodes this, and the message reads, can you provide any information? Do you have an evacuation plan, or what's the best course of action for us now?
I mean, what do we know? We know that their AA guns can shoot ships from the sky like it's a paper thing. So
These ones are shielded against that.
yeah, but even then, those ships pack a lot of firepower. Those things. Plus, with this ship, we should be able to defend.
Okay.
Plus, this ship in its data banks should be there should be something of a clue to tell them what's the actual plan, what are the raw targets, the other targets, and how they are going to proceed. Anything which we don't have access to.
Okay.
Can we, with what we know about the Tolan's defenses and what we know about what's coming, estimate if there's a chance to defend or if they should just evacuate?
Yeah, give me a knowledge.
Warfare.
Yeah, it'd be a warfare check.
I'm assuming this is something that Zhao would also be much better at, but I at least have one in it.
Yeah, be an average check.
Use story point.
Use a story point. Can I have Zhao assist me even though he's not here yet?
Sure. So with Zhao assisting, you work off of his intellect. So what's your warfare? Like 1 yellow and
Yeah, I have one yellow.
anything else, or just 1 yellow?
Just one yellow. Well, and one green for my intellect.
Okay, so
But
if it's 1 yellow, 1 green, you're adding you're going off of your ranks, his intellect, if he's assisting. So you get an extra 2 green dice to the check, which you can add at the top.
Alright, and you still think I should use a story point? Or no?
I would say yeah, use it, because
Okay.
although I don't, just
Great. Seems pretty important to, not get
Yeah.
destroyed. Okay. Right, skill I don't normally use. Warfare. There we go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
You work out that the Tolan could probably defend the attack. However, you've got to remember that this is still a simultaneous assault. And while they might be able to defend the air attack, it's likely that the Goa'uld anticipated this and is why they're sending as many ground forces as they are. Because the Tolan population currently would not be able to repel the ground forces.
Mm-hmm.
So while they might be able to defeat the ships, all they need is 1 or 2 of the ships to make it through, to land their ground forces, and then the Tolans are stuck.
Yeah. So if they can request help from SGC to defend on for a ground force, and we can get some crew from them in here, we can easily defend the space. But we don't know any other targets.
Well, you had a guess at their other targets for the other Neo-Terrakoi. You suspect that off of the plans you saw that Earth is a target, that Dakara is a target, and several other of the worlds of the allies of the Stargate Alliance.
Right, yes. So also on our transmission to Tolan, we'll be like, relay this to the other potential targets. Let them know it's coming.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't.
If you request SGC help here now that they're aware that Earth might be a target, they kind of can't shift their forces.
They have biggest American army to count on. Come on.
You know what? Give me a negotiation check, someone.
That's on you, Lilith.
Again, that's Zhao's specialty. He chose the wrong day to be late.
It shows you can't effectively run the high stakes game with 2 players.
Yeah.
I mean with 3 it's insanely difficult.
I think what we might do then is
I have no ranks in negotiation, just standard 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think you'll need Zhao for it. So what we might do then is, yeah, I'll roll this one for Zhao to see if you convince the SGC to reinforce the Tolan here with their forces. Yeah, he convinces them and then some. He talks the SGC down to bring the full might of their teams in to defend the Tolan on the ground. First, he suggests that 3 of the teams go to the Allied worlds and evacuate them as best as possible. Suggesting that they bring the bulk of their forces to Pelor to defend it, evacuate civilians from the other worlds to the Omega site, the Alpha site, and the Gamma site. That you've got, in theory, a day or so to get all of that done. So there are some other off-world sites that they're evacuating to as well. Each planet has been designated to one, and they're evacuating through to them as much as possible. With the exception of Earth, where population-wise it's just not feasible.
Yeah.
It will take years of non-stop people just jumping through it.
But yeah, there's a couple of other worlds where it's not feasible to do so. Those being Langara, which is Jonas's planet, and the other one where it's really not feasible is Hebridean. But you know they're preparing to mount a defense as best as they possibly can. As for other worlds like Takara and some of the smaller allied ones, they are evacuating and bringing their forces to Pelor so that they can be prepared to fight off this assault.
Yeah, and while we're on the ship, well, we know that Earth can't defend from space.
For the most
Uh,
part, yeah.
yeah, we don't have space guns on, like Tolans have. Uh, so I think the ship would be best spent in defending Earth from space.
I mean, they've still got, a fleet of BC 304s, which is, your Daedalus class ship. And they've got a couple of 305s at this point as well, which haven't actually been shown, but I did have a thing for them which I can share.
Does Earth also still have the ancient weapons thing?
Yeah, but it was I think it got wiped out in the Wraith assault at the end of Atlantis. They dive bombed it with darts and wiped out the chair. So I guess they could have maybe got a new one moved there, but other than that,
Yeah, they have Atlantis.
I mean, it did return to
Where
Pegasus.
is Atlantis now?
It's back in Pegasus now. Where we're at with this.
Get back here, Atlantis.
We need you.
Where is?
Yeah, well, if Tolan's gonna be get hit first, then we can maybe defend Tolan and then go to Earth to defend.
Mm-hmm.
If that's possible.
I mean, it's possible. The space battle shouldn't be very long. It's the ground assault that will take time.
Yeah, I mean, you can defend Tolan first if you want to, and then go to Earth after.
Yeah, because that battle will take longer in space, and then we can just be a cavalry, coming back to help. But we'll need Tolan space crew to operate the ship to full capacity. We have no gunners, nothing. I can barely fly the ship, but I can't shoot the thing while flying, or even operate the shields or anything. It's just too much for one person.
Okay.
I mean, I can operate it by telling the Java to operate it, but I don't think that'll work forever.
No, we'll have to kill them. The moment Tolanson are in the Jaffa will have to be gone. One way or another.
Alright, so we got a plan.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so the kind of idea is that the the 304s will look like. Hang on, can I drop it in here? Yes, probably. No, sorry, 305s. 304s are the ones that already exist. There you go. That's roughly what they look like. Sort of using some of the knowledge of the Asgard to have some Asgard design mixed in with the normal Daedalus design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think doing a ship battle without a third person might be somewhat challenging.
Just to put it
Challenging
mildly.
with the third person too.
Yeah, less so though. But yeah, I think I think given he's not arrived yet, we might end up having to end the session and come back to it next week, probably. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I don't really see how we can do it with only two for the rest of this part of it. But
No, I can't.
Yeah, especially with him being our smarts and charisma person. Definitely the most helpful in a large scale battle.
So what I will do before we end the session though is I will go through the basics of how a space battle actually works, so you understand the concept a little bit. So it's basically you have control of a ship, and we'll give you a new sheet just to do that for the moment. Let's go with that one. Let's call it Players Attack. And all of you can access it. There we go. Should be at the very top of the list of sheets.
Yeah.
Then we simply go to the vehicle sheet section of it, which is messed up on my screen for some reason.
I mean, it's empty.
Yeah, it's just the speed and stuff have a giant error sign behind them on mine for some reason. Never mind.
Yeah, on mine too. It's weird.
Okay, not sure what's causing that.
I don't know. It looks like some kind of art or something, but I don't know.
Glitch. Don't know.
Anyway, the way it would work, you have the stats in there. It'll have a typical speed. I do have them written down somewhere. I'll find them for next time. But yeah, you have the speed in there. So it's the left side is the maximum speed it can achieve. The right side is the speed it's currently at. The hull trauma is below that, which works the same as health does. It's just on a scale of 10. So for every point of hull trauma, it counts as 10 wounds, basically. Every point of system strain counts as 10 regular strain. Armor is, again, on a scale of 10. Essentially, one armor is the equivalent of 10 soak. So, other than that, the numbers you get off of them are usually fairly high. Hull trauma, I think, for the Hatak is 60. So when you bring that back down to regular health levels, you're not taking it on with a person.
Right, that would be crazy.
As for the defenses for port, starboard, aft, they're basically shields. And the way they work is similar to how defense works for your players for the players. So, depending on what angle they're being attacked by, the defenses on that side, whatever number it is, add setback to the other ship's check. Silhouette also comes into play in that larger ships are easier targets, which makes the difficulty less, but often smaller ships aren't going to do as much damage. So when it comes to, unlike regular combat, difficulty isn't determined by range, it's determined by silhouette difference in size. Range is really just how far can your weapons or your sensors detect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think, ideally, I have a quick reference for it in here, but if I don't, I will drop one in because it'll be very handy for everyone going forward. Let's see. In there. Yeah, I don't have. Okay, so I'll give you a quick reference for it'll work. This is basically how it works with Now this gets translated a little bit because this comes from the Star Wars system. So instead of piloting being the check in this case, because it's a mothership, it's actually operating. If you're flying a fighter, on the other hand, that's where it'll be piloting. Astrogation is astronavigation. Other than that, I think the rest of it converts very accurately. Except for slicing becomes hacking. So it's a hacking check instead of computer's check. But yeah, it shows the difference in terms of silhouette there. What the difficulty is for the check with different silhouette sizes. Gives you sort of the things you can do as the pilot, as actions and maneuvers. Shows you what you can do as other players there as well with the different actions. There's usually a fair bit of option to go down. But there's also other things you can do that aren't listed there. If you can think of something that you think would be advantageous, it's always worth talking it through and asking if you can do it, because a lot of the time there are plenty of actions you can take that can be incredibly useful that aren't standard to this. Because you've got access to a ship during your turn, basically. So, but yeah, I think if you've got any questions on how that'll work, we can cover some of it now, and it'll probably make more sense when you actually get into it. But if you've got anything that you'd like to ask at the moment, we can do that too.
Nothing that I can think of, actually.
So yeah, space range bands are slightly different to a personal level. I'm going to drag you to a space map to show that. Oh, that has things on it, apparently. There we go. Put that in the center. Yeah, so this is more or less the range bands on a space map. So close is basically engaged, short, medium, long, extreme. Difference being that close is, it's a little different in that there are some, unlike engaged, you're not dealing with melee weapons with ships, so there's some really short ranged weapons that'll be close.
Sure, ramming.
Yeah, you can also go in and do ramming and stuff like that. But other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. I can give you. Let's see. You know what? I'll give you access to one of the old ships here so you can sort of see how it goes with this. I mean, it's one of the Star Wars ships from previous campaign, but it is still the same sort of level ship, so I'll bring that in there. So there you go. Then you can sort of see the layout a bit of them, at least. Rather than me typing in all of the different stats and weapons for that tuck into yours. So yeah, when it comes to weapons, the character name you need to put in exactly as you have it. Because if there's even the slightest difference, it will not roll your skills for it.
Can I be a Jedi General?
Yeah, so that's basically more or less how it ends up getting filled out. You put in crew roles if you're wanting to do other things on the ship and not wanting to switch back to your character sheet. Change it to whatever skill you want to, and then you can roll it from here. So if we put in Lilith, for instance, as an admiral right now, then when we roll... Oh, never mind. I didn't like that. Cannot find character. Why?
Because it's not in this game.
No, it still should... there we go, let's try that. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if we went for deception, there you go. It rolled your deception skill off of there. Which could actually be a really useful skill in space combat if you want to, change, tactically try and make them think you're going to do something other than what you're actually doing.
I think I didn't see it anywhere on the sheet you gave us, not even under spoofing missiles. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. So, you can alter the put your characters in whatever role there you want on the other sheet. You can roll from the actual sheet too, and then when you've got the weapons in there, same sort of thing goes. You can put in Onyx, for instance. We can roll Onyx and apparently miss, but point still being it rolls off of your gunnery stat by putting you into the weapon slot.
But I also got good perception, so that might be useful.
Yes, can be very useful. Anyway, I think it's a good example sheet at least to have if you want to look over that between time, and we'll fix up the Hatak there as well to put it down here in the player characters section anyway, to have all the stats for you by the time we get back round to next week. Just if we don't have all the players typing them all in right now seems a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, hopefully we can at least get a third person.
That would be good. So yeah, we'll continue this very shortened session next week. And yeah, ideally we'll keep a third person on a more regular basis, or find someone else to join, because after this season, if we can't get a fourth, I think we're gonna have to postpone it for a while, unfortunately.